continuing pursuing my passion with training with IT. I look forward to having great experiences with you all, spending time getting to know you all over a period of 4 months. It's going to be an excellent learning even more. I hope I am able to live up to your people's expectations and we share excellent learning practices both ways. Okay, thank you. So today is our first session. We are getting familiar with each other. We are getting to know each other. I guess today we have a light class because of the rains. I assume people will drop in. But I would like to begin with an activity wherein we get to know each other in a positive way. Remembering names. Remembering names, you will now be aware, is very, very important. From a trainer's perspective, it is the sweetest word to a person is his name. And culturally, we don't lay a lot of emphasis on it. But the idea is of knowing the person, remembering the name, and as trainers, when we go out, we would have to do that. So this is a good ice-breaking session where you would come and share your name with everybody. The starting alphabet of your name. So let's say Sheetal with S, the words that you can think of with S, positive, powerful adjectives. So today's session, today and tomorrow, we're going to have 2 turns on thinking skills. As trainers, how do we create space, how do we create thinking in class? So we're going to be linking this activity also to that. And post the activity, we would discuss our takeaways. Because in every program, activity is very, very important and we will keep seeing that. So I would request you if you can have 1 page in your book, make like an activity sheet. So whatever activities are happening in class is something that you can refer to while you're creating, designing your programs. And the other sheet you could have of books. Because as trainers, we will be having a lot of knowledge sharing from each other, from one another. So I would request you all to please read, and it is not read a particular topic. It is reading and connecting the dots and subjects that you like, that you are comfortable in, which you can add value, and how then you can link it up. Also watching videos, I would personally recommend, because the way you carry yourself, the way one talks, all that gets, you can improve with that. I guess this is the only program where you have videos which are given to you with the content. So see your own videos, see the way you are communicating, the way you are standing, the way you are talking. And also watch other videos of people who motivate, who inspire you. So you can have these sheets and keep adding on to them, and it will be an excellent knowledge sharing experience. So coming back to the activity, who would go first? Yeah, so let me complete it. So let's say with S, the class shares their thoughts with words. The word I associate with the most. That person would come in and tell me, I would choose that word, and that individual would come up and say, why does he think that that word resonates or he feels is. Sorry? Okay, let's try it. Come. Your name? Philomena. Okay. One more word, sitting on mic.
It's there only. That table. The laptop table.
Laptop table. Yeah. Okay. Another word. Please ensure that many a times when we are communicating, talking in class, here we can hear each other. We'll have no problem. But when you watch your videos, the audio would not be very clear. So try picking up the mic and communicating so you will be able to improve yourself.
My name is Philomena.
Starting with a P. So Philomena starts with P. All the powerful, positive words you can connect with her. And she will choose whichever word she connects, likes the most, which is her, from the choices you give. The person who said that word would come in and give his interpretation why did he say that. Inventable.
Problem solver.
Sorry?
Problem solver.
Problem solver.
Wise.
Pious. Wow, I mean we're not running out of words for sure. Powerful.
Sportsman. Sportsman.
P.
P.
Perseverance.
Perseverance.
Poise.
Poise. So Philomena, which word do you go with?
I connect myself very well with passionate, so I think passionate.
Passionate. Who's the one who said passionate? Come.
Since we are connected with us in the days, I see herself more passionate in all the activities and eager to talk to people and very enthusiastic in during a presentation or even any of the activities. So I think the passion is important.
Thank you, Philomena. Stay. Sangeeta. S.
Strong.
Strong. Survivor. Survivor.
Strength.
Strength. Serene. Serene.
Straightforward.
Straightforward.
Sincere.
Sincere.
Sensitive.
Sensitive. Sober. Strong.
Successful.
Successful.
Simple.
Simple.
Superwoman.
Superwoman. Yes, Sangeeta, you have lovely choices.
I would take off.
Take all. Which is the word that goes with you?
I would say strong.
Strong. So who was the one who said strong? Okay.
I think yesterday she was narrating that story that she was a failure and then how she overcame that failure. So I think you have to be mentally very strong to face failure and then come out of it. Otherwise, generally people crumble under failure. So the story that she said yesterday, I could relate that and that's why I felt that she is a strong woman.
Excellent. Thank you.
Ashish.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Right.
That's right.
Articulate. Right.
Articulate.
Authenticate.
Authoritative.
Authoritative.
Action taker. Action taker.
Action taker.
Active.
Active.
Adorable.
Adorable. Yes, Ashish.
Sorry.
Appreciative.
What did you say? Action?
Action taker.
Action taker.
Achiever.
Which word would you go with?
What comes close to it and this?
Yes, that's one.
Usually action taker would be some, I think I should be close to it.
Okay. Sangeeta, come back.
I feel it is more responsible and quick in the decision making. That's what I saw during the activities.
Okay.
So this word resonated with them. So that's
Thank you. Sangeeta,
Mahendra. Mahendra. M-A-H-E-N-D-R.
Mahindra. Okay. M.
Mature.
Sure.
Mature. Mature.
Meticulous. Meticulous. Moralistic.
Memorable.
Man of action.
Okay.
Man of action.
Man of action.
Mystic. Pessimistic.
So which word would you go?
action is more.
Okay. So action taker, man of action, all that people. Excellent.
Throughout my life, it's very my whole family tree. There is no male member. So I'm the only male member in my whole family. My childhood with my father was since my childhood. In 8th standard, since then I have taken all decisions of my life.
So let's hear why he has to say that. What made him say that?
Action taker is very, very close to me.
Yes, yesterday we have seen Mahendra story, beautiful story. He was like 15 years to become a big commander. So 15 years is not like we have whatever the day and night has been compared to become a big commander. It's such a beautiful like anyone can judge him like an action picture or like man of action. That's why the moment it came to me, it started man of action. Thank you, Mahendra.
Thank you.
Suraj.
S. Suraj.
Strong, simple,
Simple, strong,
sensitive,
sensitive, sensible,
Sporty.
sensible,
self-respect.
self-respect,
Superstar.
superstar.
Sportsman.
What did you go for?
Self-respect.
That's what I think.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Like whenever I see him, I saw his walking style, his style. And I was very much closer with him. At that point of time, somewhere I saw a very good self-respect in him. I was really attracted to this good boy. I don't know why, how, but it came to my mind that this is the person of that self-respect. I should learn from him how self-respect should be.
Yes, super. Thank you.
My name is Amit.
Amit.
Yes.
Achiever.
Achiever. Adaptive.
Majestic.
Anyone?
Assertive.
Assertive.
How do you use it? Adaptable stability. Come, come.
Good evening, all of you. Mr. Amit Saraf, we were discussed yesterday about his family and talk some about his profession. See, when I talked with him and I realized the person is very one. Everything is accepting according to context. And when I talk about his living with his father, younger, living in joint family, he is adopting all the values of family, of the changing world, and everything. And he is very flexible to adapt everything what is going around. It is very restless. Yes, any persons can survive in any condition. Thanks.
Thank you.
Last year,
Knowledgeable.
Come on, guys. Give him choices. Think. Exactly.
King.
King. Kind. Kind. Kinetic.
Mindful.
Mindful.
Killing attitude. Killer attitude, sorry.
Spoken.
Now Priya.
Okay, I tell you why the king and killer attitude, all the kinetic adjective I get. He's one of the person I spoke a lot being a participant also. So he always has this aura of, I own the stage. Yeah, when I know the subject. So because of that attitude, I say he had a king-like, what we say. I hope it was positive.
Excellent. Thank you, Priya. So a lot of people already know Priya, right? So what do you associate the word with?
Peaceful.
Peaceful.
Passionate.
Persistent.
Problem solver.
Problem solving.
Prestige.
Pagal.
Pagal.
Right. Right.
Which word?
Precious.
Persistence, I go.
Come.
Nice, of course, everybody knows Priya, and I think we have been familiar with her persistence. She's been calling us, ensuring everything goes well and everybody has the right information. And if she doesn't have it, she'll make it a point to get it and give it to you. She's very persistent, very consistent about everything. So I think that's a great attitude to have.
Thank you. Thank you, Priya. Priya, yes, thank you. Yes.
My name is Bilkish, and I'm actually from the morning batch, so I don't know many of you. Most of you don't know me.
Full name is
Bilkish. Bilkish.
How do you spell it?
It is Bilkish.
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 Bilkish. What does it mean?
Queen of Sheetal.
Whoa! Wow. Bilkish.
I have to keep reminding my family that.
Balance.
Talents.
Bold.
Brave.
Beautiful for sure.
And beautiful for sure. It lies in the eyes of the beholder.
Lovely.
Rainy. Thank you. Alright. I think I've got beautiful options and everybody, thank you. Yeah, but one of the things what I think I really associate myself with is being balanced.
Thanks again for the chance. This is all about a brilliant persona to match her mind, body and soul in one way. You can see second option, integrity. What she speaks, what she feels, what each and what realize. You can observe it in the one balance, one line. So she is proper balance. All her gesture, posture, speaking, body, everything.
Thanks. I think that's very generous.
Rajesh, starting with R.
R.
Goya. Realistic.
Yes.
Realistic. Realistic.
Yes.
Royal. Rare.
Respectful.
Resilience. Resilience.
Resilience.
A leader.
Leader is L.
A leader.
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 Rocker.
Wonderful word, please.
I think I'll go with resilience.
Responsible.
Yeah. I'll go with resilience.
Yeah, that's not the pussy there. Come.
अब बलिए खड़े
हाँ, कुर्सी पे खड़े होके चल रहे हैं, कुर्सी पे।
नहीं लोग बैठे
वो नहीं मायने का resilience है। Again, thanks for being clear. मुझे फिर से झेलने के लिए आपका शुक्रिया। Weekend, Rajesh also came over and with me. And I watched his personality. And what he spoke in presentation, he has given morning pitch, fantastic, energetic. And he was cooperating with everyone, touching with everyone, but try to talk small tips but everyone. It is the wonderful quality when you are working with uncertain area, unknown persons, complete newly age, which I organized before 2 days. But you show respect for everyone. Whoever is come touch me. Thanks this good business nature as everyone.
Who's not got a chance, please come. Come.
Good evening, friends. My name is Yeshu Samuel. So, why?
Youthful. Yes. Young man.
That's great. Or why is it more difficult? Yeah, actually, even I was just thinking what will come. I didn't get anything. That's why I gave it. Sorry? Super, I'll go with this. That's great. Yes, please.
Yearning for knowledge.
That's also great. Absolutely correct, but I'll go with this first.
Youthfulness था, but why I said Javier Saab was the smile with which he started. बच्चों का जो excitement जो होता है ना, that why is it क्या आने वाला है, you are thinking about it, like a child wants कि मेरे बारे में लोग क्या बोलेंगे, he's thinking about it. So that's when I felt this Javier. So being here is over, but being here is not.
Thank you, Ashish. Who is next? Come. Just
My name is Rahul.
Rahul. नाम तो याद रहेगा. Responsible. Red.
Rational. Thoughtful. R. Any others? Resilient. So I would think it is rational. Thank you. So, talking about Rahul, he looks and he comes as a very solid person. And his simplicity talks about his relation that he would always, think rationally and do the right thing. So I guess these are the attributes which, gives a vibe that whatever you will do, you will do in a rational manner. So that's the key international. Thanks.
Thank you.
So my name is Nilesh.
And
खत्म कर दो सो
Maybe he wants a choice. We know how it works. So we will not think. Nothing is impossible.
Nice person.
Normal.
Noble. Noble.
अच्छा दिनेश ऐसे सोचिए तू बुला दे
Thank you for having me here. Being his wife, from last 5 years, whatever I have known about him, he's been very natural in all the things. It could be his nature, doing or performing any activity, any sort of work. He's very natural.
Great, thanks.
पीछे सोचिए ये क्या बोल रहा है
मेरा सामने जा रहा है, सोच के बोलो। Yeah.
Pooja,
My name is
pretty.
Pooja.
Pretty.
Richie.
Polite.
Positive.
Peaceful.
Peaceful.
Polite. People's first. Right.
I didn't get that.
House.
People's person. Careful.
Positive.
Pure.
Positive, pure, careful,
Perseverance.
perseverance.
Lot of things, lot of qualities I could see people talking about me and actually experiencing it in the day-to-day life.
Persistence. Proper.
Positive.
Punctual. Politeness.
Right.
So thanks for giving me so many options, but why I would choose people's person is because
Let's review. Let's get to know you through them. Let's get to know you through them.
Yesterday's class I had an opportunity to interact with her on one of the activities, and I found she was very connected to the people more than any other things. So that itself more people's person than anything else.
Okay, thank you, Pooja.
वो क्या ना मेरे से कुछ नहीं बोला तेरे बारे में
no, but I would definitely like to add why I chosen this option or this quality. I want to develop this skill. Though I love interacting with people, but yes, I don't know at what level I am, but I want to excel in this area. So thank you so much.
Excellent.
Uday, you.
Sorry, I didn't get your name.
Uday.
Uday.
Youthful.
Unique.
Unique. Universe. Unusual. Unusual.
Unfazed.
Sorry.
Unfazed.
Unfazed.
Face.
Ultimate.
Unbiased.
Uber.
Unmatchable.
Humanity.
Name came from here. Unusual. Yeah, unusual. Not regular. I normally never think usual, so unusual. That sounds.
Unusual? I'm sorry, Uday, I don't know you very well, but I guess most of the people here who are like, after maybe 50 are coming out here and wanting to do something. I guess it is a pretty unusual thing to do. I mean, it requires extraordinary courage to do that. So, I mean, I just thought that probably it's fit to do very well. Is that okay? Yeah?
Kiran.
Kind.
K. Kind. King. Learner. Kind.
Kind. Keen.
I'll go with kind.
Not possible, sir.
So, talking about Kiran, been interacting with him last few days. Kiran is very clear, very sorted, and the best thing about him, and he was sharing his story on Saturday as well as Sunday and yesterday as well. He's kindly accepted the way he is, and he's taken and he narrated a very beautiful story of his exam. And that's why I feel that he's very kind, he's very composed, and he's accepted and taking life very boldly.
It's not got a chance.
Jackson.
J. Jackson.
Jungle Boy.
Joyful.
Joyful. Jolly.
Joyfulness.
Jubilant.
I would go with both actually, jolly and joyful.
So which one would you go with?
Joyful.
Joyful. Who said joyful?
Can I say?
Yeah.
Okay, I got this privilege to introduce my friend Jackson. Joyful. Yes, from the time I have seen him, he is really very, always whenever anybody goes to him, he has always a smiling face. He is a joyous person. And from the day I have met him, any problem what we share, even we have become a trained friends now, we go together. Yes, we are local friends, you can say now. I have really seen that he is always joyous and a very positive person, and positive persons have always a smile on their face, so it's a joyful person. So that's all about you. God bless you.
Everybody else has got a turn? Yes.
Hi, my name is Pratap.
Pratap. P.
Peaceful.
Peaceful.
Positive.
Pleasant.
Perfect. Perfect. Passionate. Passionate.
Powerful.
Perseverance.
Okay, just I have to get that quality vision. So yesterday you were positive and incident of training of there and working in different departments. Then ultimately he ended up in security department. He was able to catch a thief. Ultimately he got a 1 month salary as it. So I think that is the something to do all the perseverance of the human life.
Thank you. Okay, everybody. Now, can you tell me what were we doing and why were we doing it? An activity. What were yours? Why about that experience, bring about that change. So now imagine if you are conducting a one-day program, either it is on a single one-day public workshop or it's a corporate training. Getting people into the room, where do we begin from? This can be a good ice-breaking session. And naturally to humans, thinking positive, connecting with positive. So in corporate, we have so many undercurrents, so many issues happening. Getting to know people, starting in a different perspective, creating a positive atmosphere in class. So over here, we were getting to know people. It was the first week itself, remembering the names. And as individuals, we don't go up to ask people, oh, I don't remember your name. You will hesitate. Generally, people don't. So over here, from this perspective, it was a name, getting familiar with each other. And many a times we want to talk about ourselves. So here we are having people what they think about you, and as individuals, we are so harsh on ourselves. And when people give you the positive adjective, you're like, oh really, is that me? So that perspective and the energy that comes into the room, it works as a good icebreaker. And again, restricting it to the twist that one got was restricting it to the starting alphabet, which goes with the thinking session. So a very simple activity with, dual perspective, and how as an individual you can create it, how you can use it, maintain that, and you can also tweak it around. It's not necessary that it has to be done in this format. That is how as trainers you should always be ready with activities. So that's why I said we can have one page of penning down, you can use this as an ice-breaking, creating positivity, just to be getting to know each other, making friends, relationships. You could use it in various perspectives. Okay, now coming to you being here. You're going to be the first batch where people would be starting their dreams in January 2020 and making new resolutions. You would be a certified trainer in Jan 2020 with the new beginning. The objective is to improve yourself, however good we are, we all are, but there is still scope of improvement. Success is not an overnight journey. We need to build. You've been a product of your choices and not circumstances that have chosen you. So the idea is that in Jan 2020, can you launch the best version of yourself? And working towards that. So for that, it would be a two-way working. I will do what it takes, ITD will do what it takes, and you put in all you have. And you would get the desired results. So, wish you all good luck. Take this, do it seriously, do it thoroughly. Be fair to yourself, be honest to yourself. Results will happen. The program is designed beautifully. We have a complete schedule in place, day by day, week by week, activity, objective for each day, learnings, takeaways. Take all what you can. Give it your 100%. Wish you all good luck on this great journey. So today, Stephen Covey says, the second habit, begin with the end in mind. So today I want to understand, anyone knows the second habit? Begin with the end in mind. So today, let's first understand, when you walk out, when you are a trainer, where do you see yourself within the training industry? How would you position yourself? So I'm going to share with you from a training industry perspective which are the different approaches and where would you resonate, where you connect yourself with, and how do you want to carve your journey, create your niche in the market. All with me? Okay. So within the training industry, we have three approaches with which one can take. So the first is a trainer-center approach. Okay. Okay.
Whole program is based in and around the trainer.
In and around the trainer. Excellent. Okay. What are the thoughts that come to your mind that as an individual, if you are a trainer center, you are having a program designed in that format, what would it be to become a trainer center?
We have made this need and people identify who with that particular training program of the
Okay, okay, excellent. So fundamentally, a trainer center approach is where you are positioning yourself as an expert. So you are bang on with the understanding. It is not opinionated. Now let's understand a trainer center where you are coming in as an expert means you have the knowledge. Now let's understand where can I apply this? Within the training industry, which are the programs where you would see this kind of a format being executed?
Where they train the product or process.
Product training, process training, okay. Where else? Where else would you see this being applied? Because see, now I want you all to also start thinking what are the opportunities within the industry that are available for you if you decide to go ahead with this.
Time management.
Time management, would it be trainer center wherein you say you're the authoritarian and this is the way it is, because it's not opinions. So don't restrict yourself from not answering, but I would like loud thinking.
sales training.
Sales training. Do you think sales training, would that, are you trying to say sales training or product training?
Actually, more product.
More product training. So sales training, let's park it and let's see if it's fitting anywhere else or we come back here.
I would say skills, any specific skills.
So let's understand, where do you see trainer center approach?
For example, like maybe negotiation skills or skills like that. So where like an expert is coming and he's probably a professor for
So let's say negotiation skills, would it be sacrosanct that this is the only way? Would it be his and
so that's opinion.
so we park that. So Kiran, you mentioned classroom. So in schools, just in schools wherein we have this kind of a format where you are having a trainer center approach. Now let's go one level higher. Where else?
More of process orientation.
Process orientation, product, yes. Where else? So after schools, where would you see it happening? Colleges. So when you have your IAS exams, IIT engineering, medical exams, your entrance exams, where they are experts, their word is the last word, it's authoritative. It is trainer center approach, where there is very little room for exchange. It is a one way. This person is coming in as an expert.
So like domains like yoga or spirituality.
Spirituality, yoga, yes. So in yoga, let's be clear that because that could be a little gray. But in yoga, you would have Hatha yoga, Kundalini, different approaches, and those are sacrosanct. So so to that extent, yes. Spiritual, yes, maybe.
I feel it's very each, in fact, spiritual is one of the things which can be as many people as many things.
So see, there could be two views in spiritual, where you would have a particular guru who's following a particular pattern, a particular belief, and the other one would have a different road path. So from that extent, he would be an authoritarian. But yes, it's a subject slightly sensitive. But at least now we are getting where else. So in corporates, let's understand in corporates where all can I do this? Where do you see training center approach being applied? So as trainers, if you want to go out in the corporate and conduct training programs.
Learning and development.
Learning and development, how would you do a trainer center approach? your audience, but what would you be training them on? What is the market that you have? So after becoming a trainer, where would you have?
Whether the domain expert, whatever area of expertise.
So let's say in the technology IT sector, where you have your software, Java, CAD, all that, where again you have a particular trainer-center approach. In IT companies, cross-cultural trainings, sending people to different countries, different cities, acclimatizing them to that place.
Leadership. Skill development.
Skill development, correct. See, as a trainer, you are developing skill. What from? Skill development of enhancing your IT domain. Okay, okay.
Financial training.
Financial, let's park that.
Dance academy.
Dance academy as a trainer center, yes. Excellent. So yoga, dance, yes. So you have, in the morning I was sharing with them dining and etiquettes, grooming. So you have Sabina Merchant, who trains the Femina Miss Indias, and she is running a public workshop of dining and grooming. 17,500 per person, 1 day program. And how she's positioned herself in the fraternity, adding credibility to herself and conducting programs. So dining and etiquettes is again an interesting segment. So keep thinking, where do you fit in? How do I, because you won't get all the answers today itself. Today is just the first day. But as I said, today's session is all about thinking. Start understanding your strengths, put your dots together and putting together a package where do you go out, where do you see yourself, in what format. So one is training. The second approach within the training industry is a learner-centered approach. What according to you would be a learner-centered approach?
Soft skills.
Soft skills. So first let's understand what is learner-centered. We'll do the application later, but what is learner-centered?
So workshop kind of setup where there is a requirement of a lot of decision.
Discussions, okay. So the focus is on the learner, okay. What else? What else? Excellent, correct.
So the learners, what is it? The need is understood of the learner, what a learner wants, and then you make a program for learner.
Excellent, okay, okay.
So any kind of coaching.
Skill development, see, you're developing a skill in any approach you take. So from a learner, what would be your understanding? Yes, Nilesh, sorry, I'm saying.
Any kind of coaching.
Coaching, would it come in learner or would it come in trainer?
Coaching.
Or when you talk about coaching, you're talking some other coaching.
So any like sports coaching or any skills coaching. So where
So
a learner has some aspiration and somebody is helping him.
So would that come in trainer center where you have, like let's say if there is a particular swimming or we said dance or yoga. So would that come in trainer or would that come in learner? So a learner center is, school we said comes in trainer center, where the teacher is the last one, teacher has the authority. So a learner center approach is where you are playing the role of a facilitator. Let's understand this first more in detail for us to use the application. So in a learner center, when I say, so let's say someone spoke on leadership, right? Who used that? Leadership. We said leadership will park it from a trainer center, but now let's imagine I'm conducting a leadership workshop and I have Narendra Modi, Irfan Khan, Macron, Obama, Hillary Clinton as my audience. And I have a visionary leadership workshop. I would not be training them. We would be facilitating, creating that space where we have sharing of experiences to bring about that change. So yes, each guru in a leadership perspective, you have John Maxwell, where he talks about leadership is influence. You have J.R.D. Tata, who talks about that book, if anyone's read, the 4 victories, the 4 V's. So there are leadership perspectives, but can I talk that to this set of an audience? So I would be playing the role of a facilitator by questioning. So a facilitator, when fundamentally you're training middle senior level people, a heterogeneous group, something what we are doing right now, who come in from different walks of life with different perspectives, and then we say, no, this is how it has to be done. So we are facilitating, creating that space in class for you to think, helping you, giving you the tools, giving you the techniques to think, and then deriving to change and making you feel an experiential shift, a mindset. So facilitation is where you have to have a very clear objective. So as a trainer, as a facilitator, I am interacting with people, and when we say questioning, many a times you can deviate and move your whole session to somewhere else because you don't want to offend people. But at the same time, as a facilitator, I need to have a very clear objective. And I need to reach that objective, bring about that change without deviating, but at the same time, bringing in the other person's perspective. The second important aspect is understanding my audience. So as a facilitator, my leadership visionary workshop fundamentally would remain the same. But if I talk about visionary leadership to the first-time managers in a corporate, vis-a-vis the stalwarts who I spoke about, would be at very different levels, would be giving them a very different perspective, would be sharing with them very different examples. So even let's say if I go to a corporate and I'm conducting a leadership program, understanding from the HR, who is my audience to whom I'm going to talk to? Am I going to have only M1 level managers, or there will be M1, M2, M3 all together? So making a statement that what holds you from being where your boss is. A small question like that also can have different reactions if I have multi-layers of leaders sitting with me in classroom. But if all of them are at the same managerial designation in the corporate, I can work and design that very differently. So facilitation is again where a person brings in credibility, maturity to handle the class and manage situations. He need not be an expert. See, when I say he need not be an expert, I don't want to take away the credibility from the person. So if, let's say when I'm talking about the leadership program between the Obamas and the Narendra Modis of the world, it does not necessarily mean that I also have to be a prime minister or a president of a particular country. So I'm not an expert in managing the nation, but can I facilitate a leadership program? So that is the way I want to position myself. Yes, Jackson.
Okay, so I
participated in one of the workshops, which was called a focused group workshop for financial planners.
Okay.
So there were 20 financial planners in that focused group, and there was one person, Sadiq Mili, so this is Network FP, which was conducting this workshop. So he was having set of questions. So for example, one question was, how do you practice financial planning in Mumbai? So each participant was given a chance to share their
best practices.
Yeah. So I had 19 different ideas. So in the same way we had different questions.
Absolutely. Excellent example. So wherein you can share the best practices also. You are not telling them this is how it can be done. Okay, so that is very fair. So you are not coming in as an expert. So what would be the third perspective? If the first is trainer-center approach, you have learner-center. The third would be what? That's easy. Mixed approach. What would be a mixed approach?
It will be a combination of both.
Yes.
Like trainer center as well as the
Okay.
In this type of approach, it is really like you have all the top level people as well as the learning people. So you have to be really cautious in that.
Okay, so let's understand now where can I apply this to?
Public speaking.
Incorporates.
Public speaking, like motivational training or something.
Public speaking. So, in public speaking, would it come under facilitation? It would be a combined, according to Pooja. Okay, so we would give it a mixed approach. All the thoughts that came in on financial planning sales, which earlier were not fitting into any, can I bring that here? Where there is a combination. And the way you design it as an individual, it's on to you. What percentage would be mixed? What percentage would be training? So tomorrow, let's say in a technical program, where people say that it's very dry and it's very boring. Can we club in a soft skill session in that and make it interactive and have a mixed approach? See, the idea about sharing this with you is not that you go and announce or when you're presenting yourself that this is, I am going to follow this approach. This is the backstage information which we are sharing with you, which helps you to define and design yourself. So you don't have a one-off success program and you don't have a one-off day which is a good day. Where you have a very clear objective, you have a very clear vision of where do you see yourself, what is the format you are taking, which path you are taking, and how do you want to keep improving yourself. So this is the three aspects. And when we are talking about thinking, so again we are, so your first level of assessment. So now after today, when you even go and see a PowerPoint presentation online, see now we don't think. Everything was Google Baba. After today, no. After today, go into your mind, tune yourself, get on to original thinking. Use that format later for your pictures, for color concepts, for little more clarity, doubts. But don't do a copy paste. This would help you in understanding, giving a perspective to where people are coming from. Any questions? Can I move forward? Yes. Okay. So when we talk about thinking, let's understand the best practices in the industry. At the Harvard, there is a philosophy which they follow. We know that they use case study as a format. But what is the philosophy at the Harvard?
is some logic behind it. बिना logic के हमारे मन में एक पल भी नहीं चलता. First philosophy है हमारा.
So उनका ये philosophy है. How we teach is what we teach.
So it depends on what content it is. So who are you talking about? What is the content? What is your objective here? So depending on your objective, that's how you will change your approach.
Come on, guys.
If suppose it is a classroom of say college level students, that will be the romantic songs, jokes like that level. If it is very high management level, that will be kind of serious things. So what we are teaching, like that is the way. So content is serious, the teaching will be really serious kind of thing. And if it is like vice versa.
How effectively teach so that everyone can understand. Because how we teach is what we teach. Now you are teaching us something, you are making us aware of what kind of sessions are there, what kind of this training program that is there. It's not how effective you are teaching, it's what you are teaching to us and how effective, how it automatically goes in our mind.
So what am I trying to teach today? You're right. Think more. What are we trying to do? Process.
To be effective.
Effective.
Questioning.
Communication.
Questioning. Very close.
Communication.
Communication.
Use examples of connecting. Use examples.
Connecting.
Relating to the audience.
Relating to the audience.
Use examples and case studies to make people think.
Presenting.
To make people
Think.
we're teaching them how to think. As individuals, Nathaniel Brandon says, 90% of the people doubt their ability to think.
Who says?
Nathaniel Brandon. He is an authoritarian on self-esteem. He has written a couple of books on self-esteem. A person going to Harvard cannot be deficient in thinking. So when we are using case studies as a format, how does it help people? Okay. Problem solving, decision making. So what are people doing? Taking decisions, and when we doubt our ability to think, we are not confident in decision making. So what the Obamas, the Trumps, the Modis are doing at the national level, at individuals level, the issue is the same, but the levels are different. You ask a woman to make a meal, have guest home, 20 people, no issue, she can execute it beautifully. The problem is thinking what to make. Cooking is not the problem. You ask a man, Suraj, to buy a gift for his girlfriend or his wife. Boss, can't think. So the root cause, if we can attempt to solve, nothing can stop you from being successful. It's fine-tuning over here. So when we are talking about the best practices in power, so we have Finland, which is in the country where schooling is at most importance. I think it's rated number 5, number 7 globally on their teaching practices. You enroll the child in school at the age of 7. Imagine the mothers of Bombay Will be like, in 7 years, my child can do an MBA violin. But they believe in a thought process, and enrolling, the starting age of school is 7 years. And they are teaching through concepts. So when a child is taught from which side does the sun rise, and has been taught it rises from the east. But the next day, when you ask the child from where does it rise, and she says west, as a teacher, you cannot say you're wrong. Now, how do you teach? It's a concept. It's not opinions. How do you bring about that learning? How do you bring about that experience where the person believes in it and remembers it? How would you do it? But you can't say you're wrong. It's not that it's lying and truth. Show them. How?
Make them experience.
How? East and west, it's a concept.
You make them see it when the sun rises.
I guess there are tools and there are presentations which show the child, and that's how
By questioning.
by question.
By the child, as counselors, we don't give solutions. When the answers come from within, they're always there. You'll always remember. So the teaching format, because one cannot say this is wrong because it, it has an effect on the development of the child. So one has to have that perspective when nothing is right, nothing is wrong. But a sun rising from the east has to be right. And bringing about that change where he remembers always, it was not a randa. So there are these different formats, different perspectives in how we go about doing thinking. Sakina, I now need my... So when we talk about thinking, let's understand from where it originated. Right from 200 BCs, during the Greek civilization. Yeah.
Coming to the previous point,
Yeah.
can you not tell the child that the place from where the sun rises is called east? You are saying sun rises from the east. So that where sun rises is called east. So you are naming it.
Yeah, you're naming it, but then the child has to remember.
Yeah.
So there is a format in which you are teaching that it rises in the east and sets in the west. So we have taught 2 words. But when the child answers, he says rises in the west. So how do you remember?
What kind of questions will you ask?
So which side do you sleep? Which side do you wake up? How is it in your house? Where is your door? Which side is the window? Is it towards the sea? Is it towards the mountains? You will have to create that space where the child answers and says, no, it's east. Where the answer is, you're facilitating that thinking. And Finland starts that format not at a Harvard level and not at a university level, right from school. So that's a format. So in India, we have the Jiddu Krishnamurti schools, who again have a very different perspective, a very different approach towards teaching. thinking is argumentative, and parallel thinking. Where did argumentative thinking originate from? So these are the three philosophers in the golden age, in the Greek era, 200 BC. Socrates, Aristotle, Plato. So you have an Athenian branding who says that we doubt our ability to think. Data says that. Socrates said the knowledge lies within us. We have the ability to think. Whatever question, so as I said, philosophy, it moves up in spirals without getting any answers. So if you would go to a Socrates to ask a question, you would get no answers. Because he believes that the knowledge lies within. So they were famously called the gangs of three, who were the first people to question the authorities of the church. At that point in time, when the complete civilization was blindly following a particular belief, where nobody was questioning, there were some things at the church which were right, we'll not get into that, but questioning the authorities of the church, they brought about that change. They thought in a particular format. And they didn't give any answers. They left it to the individual. Can I have somebody read this for me, please? The mic is... Where's the mic?
No, I think we can go.
Yeah, but the video will have an issue. Yeah.
Socrates has been described as a first-class pain. The reason why this charge is somewhat justified is that he challenged.
Right, stop it.
Socrates should be disconnected.
Socrates has been described as a first-class pain. The reason why this charge is somewhat justified is that he challenges students to think for themselves, to use their minds to answer questions. He did not reveal answers, he did not reveal truth. Many of his questions were on the surface quite simple. What is courage? What is virtue? What is duty? But what Socrates discovered, and what he taught his students to discover, was that most people could not answer these fundamental questions to his satisfaction. Yet, all of them claimed to be courageous, virtuous, and beautiful.
Self-explanatory. Share all this with you all earlier.
There is a reason why Socrates employed this style, as well as why Plato recorded his experience with Socrates in the form of a dialogue. Socrates taught Plato a great many things. One of the things Plato more or less discovered on his own was that mankind is born with knowledge. That is, knowledge is present in the human mind at birth. It is not so much that we learn things in our daily experience, but that we recollect them.
Just hold on. So do you feel a doctor has been born with more knowledge than a person who's not a doctor?
No.
but to show his students how they could pull truth out of their own mind. It is for this reason that Socrates often considered himself a midwife in the labor of knowledge. And this is the point of dialogue. For all conversation, only in dialogue can truth and wisdom come out to the surface.
Thank you, Ajay. Thank you. So with Socrates, the format in which he taught was creating that space for his students to think. As trainers, when we want to bring about that change, when we want to bring about that transformation, we need to bring about that space in class for people to experience and think. Very simple. The activity that we did in the beginning, I didn't tell you the reasons, but later on we did discuss. But if on the word go, I would tell you, okay, this, it's going to be, how would it work? So every knowledge sharing, every activity, every tool, every technique has to be designed in the format from a trainer, keeping in mind his program and bringing about that change through thinking. When we talk about the Socrates and the Plato and the Greeks, our Indian history can't be left behind. I'm sure you all know who this is. Ambedkar. He didn't only give us the Constitution, but he was one man who spoke and taught a different path. He taught differently. If you understand the background from where he's coming, he was adopted into a Brahmin family. So as trainers, also please start reading biographies. Why people do what they do, where do they come from, why do they behave in a particular fashion. Well, Ambedkar was the first person at a time when India was going through her own issues, questioning Gandhi on the caste system. And he didn't do it in a closed room, it was in an open forum in America, wherein he had the guts to question Gandhi.
In fact, he even opposed Article 370. Kashmir issue. He was the one who opposed that. He said, I will betray the nation if Article 370. He walked out of that building.
He was the voice against whoever the establishment.
Yeah. No, but again, the establishment what is right. Not just for the sake of
Yes.
For the sake of truth.
credit you have to give it to it.
So, you know, these are very sensitive.
He wanted it for 10 years. The reservation also increased only for 10 years.
Only for, yes.
So only the politicians kept on extending.
Correct.
The changes in the constitution he brought about because of his knowledge and his perspective, and that was the truth. So, you know, these are very sensitive topics with open public workshops, open forums, we don't discuss in detail. But when we understand where the thinking originates from, what differentiates one from the other, what as trainers we need to do and inculcate, sharing that perspective. So when you talk about argumentative thinking, what comes to your mind? Where argumentative thinking can be used in a constructive manner?
Yes.
So where all do you see it happen?
Debates.
Debates. Brainstorming. So would brainstorming be argumentative thinking?
Collaborate. Kind of ideas which follow a logic mind behind. So
Hold on to that. Hold on to that. You're not wrong. Hold on to that. Continue thinking. In courts. In courts. Excellent. Okay.
Parliament.
Parliaments. Where else? Yes. Bedrooms. No, there is no argument. It is one way. Victory. Yeah, you can't argue with it.
Like 4 to 5 people are talking about the same matter, but with their own perception. In you
back it with data. So let's do one thing. Let's get into groups and let's try this. Okay? Come, this side we'll stand here. This group stands here. We need equal people, equal sides. Any strong contestants? All are strong? Okay. So we'll stand against each other. So it is also used in face-offs in presidential elections in America. So wherein, did anyone happen to see the Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump face-off? Where as individuals they talk about in front of the nation their perspectives, that if you elect them, select them as leaders, their vision and how would they improve America. So that's face-offs again where you have this kind of a format being used in a constructive manner. So I think, yeah, we are equal. So let's do a program, or let's take a topic. City life versus village life. City life versus village life.
We have to debate which life.
Yes, yes. So this team versus this. Any favorites? Anybody wants a city life? Anybody wants? Excellent, excellent. City life versus?
You have to city where village.
Anything.
Whatever, okay. So we have this group in favor of city life.
Okay,
And this group on village life.
yes.
Here we are not going to counter. I want you all to think of the different advantages in the city life, but without repeating. So one word, one sentence, what do you think is the advantage? The mic, I will do it. Huh? Only for the recorder. Only for the recorder. So we start with village life. Start.
One point.
You all are village life.
Natural food.
Natural food, okay. Clean air, okay.
Stress-free life.
Stress-free life.
Quality of life.
Quality of life, okay.
Peace and tranquility.
Peace and tranquility, quality life का overlap नहीं हो रहा है?
Then community living.
Community living, okay.
Social and spirituality. Sociality and spirituality with each other.
Spiritual perspective, okay.
Less diseases.
Less diseases.
Healthy life.
Healthy life बोल दिया ना? He said. हाँ.
Focus on work and more of work.
Focus on.
Hard work.
In village life, focus on hard work. How would you say that work?
In farming, basically, factory farm, whatever.
Okay.
You may not have buses, you have to walk.
Physical activity.
Physical activities.
Physical activity. Yes, thank you.
Natural food. God's creation.
Sorry?
Nature's beauty.
Okay, ना? Nature, clean air. थोड़ा different हो जाता है. चलो, we'll give it to you. Okay.
Wildlife.
Simplicity and peaceful.
Simplicity and peaceful. Okay.
So talk about life in metro, it would offer you the best lifestyle.
Lifestyle. Okay.
Creating employment opportunities,
Employment opportunities.
urbanization, availability of things.
Sorry?
Urbanization and availability of things.
Slightly overlapping. Give us a little more
Availability, everything is available. You have the money, you can just buy
resources.
Resources.
Okay.
Comfort of resources.
More business opportunities,
See, I think job opportunities.
better connectivity.
Connectivity.
Yes, yes. Mode of transport.
See now connectivity also please specify. Wi-Fi के over transport. That will make it
Social life or happening life. Happening.
social life. Okay.
more pluralistic living, as in it is a melting pot of so many people, different people coming in, so inclusiveness.
Inclusiveness. Okay, so cosmopolitan.
Cosmopolitan.
Okay.
Context to India, better educational institutions.
Education, institutions, excellent. Okay, thank you very much. Education. He wants to add one more point. Better hospitality. Okay, thank you everybody. Folk music, folk culture, dance, artists.
And that was one sentence that we remember all the things.
Exactly. Thank you. Let's get back.
We forgot too many general dialogues.
See, what happens in an argumentative thinking is that you run out of ideas.
Yes.
The first couple of ideas, the first 4-5 are easy breezy. And then when you push yourself to think is the turning point, and the ideas that come towards the tail end are in fact so innovative, and then you want to add on. So you reach an impasse even in thinking. And that's the time, that's the point where as individuals you need to push yourselves even more. So now we didn't do a face-off. Now we were understanding the argumentative thinking in a constructive manner. There was no debate. Now what we are going to do is we're going to get into a debate. So we have 4 teams, not so this two will join this table. Okay, and 2 people come here. 1 person goes behind. So 1 person there. So what we're going to do now, we are going to have team 1 vis-a-vis team 2. Team 3 versus team 4. Your topic is going to be happiness. Your topic is success. So happiness is a face-off between happiness and success. I will give you execution versus planning. You're going to come in, present your points, and then after both the teams have presented their points, you will counter. After you counter, we will do a face-off. After that, we'll have voting. So it's 10 to 9. 9 o'clock is when we come back.
We have to positive point apart.
Yes. According to you, you feel execution is the ultimate, is the best. Okay? You all are going to say it's only planning that will get you the desired results. Okay? Okay. Sakina, you can close that. 10 minutes. So they are going first. Execution and planning is going on. Yeah, so execution and planning. आपका ये execution is going on. So execution versus planning. Okay, so who would want to go first?
We have got the topic execution. Without execution, you can never get the result.
Together you're going to get 5 minutes. So 2.5 minutes and Sakina will lead the way.
So without the execution, you cannot get the best result out of it. So I think the execution part, the execution only gives the result. So without execution, you can never ever get result.
And also, I think good execution build the image, credibility of the company. When I say architect, since in our office we do a lot of plannings, but what deliver is an execution, purely an execution. It took 6 months to plan, but 6 years to do the entire framework. So the entire benefit is like on the execution part. So unless and until the more practicality, execution won't be successful.
Excellent. Execution gives.
Wait, we counter later. Now it's just.
Average strategy with great execution can definitely get results. But on the other hand, great strategy with poor execution will definitely not get results.
Execution is always connected with the ground level reality, because that's where they go and execute. So in fact, execution will give you feedback to probably change, upgrade your strategic planning. And another important thing is it will help, good execution will help leakages. In fact, once, I remember Mr. Rajiv Gandhi had said, when we sanction 100 rupees, it's only 15 paisa that actually gets implemented. 85 paisa that goes in between all that leakages in execution. So good execution helps you to generate revenue and helps increase the revenues of the organization.
Thank you. So we have that now? Okay.
So, as Yeshu said, only execution is important. So I would like to come to that point.
No countering right now. First present your
So
you are seeing this is exactly how a tool for thinking creates trouble if not used correctly. This is the objective. Thank you, Jackson. Go ahead.
So, planning gives you clarity. So, first, whatever, suppose I have to build something, it is first built in your mind, okay, and then it is execution. So, we feel that 90% is planning and 10% is execution. Because if your planning is not perfect, then there can be cost involved, waste of resources, waste of time, and waste of money. We don't plan properly.
Planning always help to boost your confidence, which will always help you to optimize your resources and revenue.
So there's a famous saying, if you plan to fail, means you're failing to plan, basically. If you're not planning, you're planning to fail. So if you're not clear that what exactly you want to do, how you want to do, when you want to do, is there any timeline defined? Are we managing going to manage our time, resources, or anything and everything? Then, because we are going to execute in today's world where people are involved, human beings are involved, and human being needs some direction. Without any direction, it will be a fish market. And definitely planning will bring that direction. Each one would know their responsibilities, each one would know their workarounds, and then things will be much more sorted and clear, and things will be executed in time. So planning is the first and foremost important thing.
We all see the good example. When vacations come, you don't get a ticket of anywhere, right? We plan, we sit with our families, say where we'll go, how days we'll go, how many days we'll be there, so that we can save on resources, time, money to plan to get more enjoyment out of it. So planning is always important. Every time. I am very sure we never do any vacation family trip without planning. Are you? Correct? The other thing, Rajiv Gandhi. No. I can use that example. Suppose that there will be a better planning, like we are seeing from last so many years, Congress is there. Nothing personal or political. But they are only executing. BJP is coming with a proper planning. They have planned till 2024. So better resources are using. You can see that resources are better using.
So now you can counter.
Yeah, I'll counter. You started with a phrase saying that failing to plan Means
Planning.
if you are planning, failing to plan is planning to fail. But there's another saying, however good a plan is, bad execution is a wonderful recipe for disaster. So, as far as saying goes, I don't think we should go by saying. Planning is, the point that you said, that we should plan for vacation. My point is, you may plan for vacation, but if you don't book the hotel at the right time, don't book the ticket at the right time, the planning is absolute. On this day we go here, this day we stay there, this day we do this, the planning is fine. But if you do not execute it by booking at the time, that planning has absolutely no meaning.
But
So,
booking the hotel at the right time is also
that's execution. That's execution. That's execution. That's execution.
Making itself is a planning.
Decision making is planning. Actually doing it is execution. You decide I have to say this or that.
Execute it.
अभी तो शुरुआत हुई है.
Because they say to make a plan for 5 years, things change so fast. आपने अगर एक plan बना दिया है and then you are hoping that for 5 years you have to execute.
Planning submission by what it could execute or what it could not execute. The question was the execution. Okay? There was no problem. There was no problem in planning.
So that is exactly what it is. Execution was a disaster.
Exactly.
That's what the execution is important.
Okay, so now one person who will do a
by the medalist? Or was it a planning?
Okay, so we end with that question. So there would be a face-off. Who's coming from this side? Who's coming from this side?
We have executed.
Yes.
आप बोल रहे थे planning.
आप बोल रहे हैं planning बड़ा important है. तो आप
See, they are not saying planning is not important. It begins with planning. That point is well taken. But if the execution is not there, then the planning has no meaning. The 5 years commission that this planning commission is said, it was disbanded for the same reason. Another thing, see, if you plan for 5 years, there are ground level realities keep changing. We are living in a very dynamic world. It is the execution where you are in touch with the ground level realities. Do you understand what actually is right, what is wrong? That feedback that comes back for change of plan. So ultimately, it's the execution that's helping you to change the plan. I'm not saying planning, it starts with planning.
Yes.
But a bad execution, it leads you nowhere. But if your planning is not good, and if your execution, whatever plan you have made, 10% of the plan also, if it is executed, is effective to that extent. So the effectiveness is execution. So it's not a 100% you plan, 100% will be implemented. If it is 100% plan, zero execution, it's zero. But 10% of your plan and 100% of your execution will give you 10 to 8 to 9% of results. So for results, execution is important.
Okay.
So whatever we say, execution is important or whatever is important, you cannot take a first step without planning. So the simple simple example I would give. On the day 1 we joined the course, we got our 4 months calendar, which each day, each session planned well in advance. 100 people can do their execution. Now 100 people have 100 different professions. How they are able to execute? Because there is a well written plan given on day 1, so that you can plan your 250 sessions seamlessly and everybody can attend and extract maximum out of this. If there was no plan, how you would have done it? You would have missed 10 sessions, you would have missed 50 sessions, and it would have been clear chaos. But how effectively we will be graduated as a trainers is because of meticulous planning. And that says it all. I don't want to say anything. Thank you.
So now we have all the teams facing this side and then keep voting. So please face the wall. How many of you go with planning? So we have 4 people who have gone with planning, and how many left? For execution, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have a sweeping victory for the execution. Thank you very much.
Mic is off.
Mic is off.
It's off.
If anyone is asked a question, what is the goal in life, he or she would always choose that happiness would be my goal in life. That would be the first priority, whatever success or unsuccess, whatever he or she is doing, happiness is the ultimate. This is normally people like to prefer the goal in life, and we normally see, always mention, there's a happiness in children. So we look at it and we set that as an example, and everyone wants to achieve happiness. So happiness is a very important element of every human life.
Happiness is about sharing. It's all about how we share to people around us and caring about our own happiness around people and the surrounding near us. It's one of the things which also can
if you're happy, you're able to create positive thinking, not just within you, but that aura of positive thinking is spread all across.
Happiness is always within. You don't need external things to be happy. And it's always a win-win situation. It's never a lose-win situation. Always win-win.
Happiness is something which grows by sharing. The more you share, the more happiness it grows. So I think as my colleague mentioned, there have just been things. So it is not that I'm happy, you have to be unhappy for that. And another thing is that happiness is not limited. It is not limited to your economic status, to your age, to whatever it is. So anybody and everybody has a right to happiness.
Okay, thank you.
What actually the success is like, whatever you need, whatever goal you want to achieve, you have achieved. Either that should be in the terms of happiness, either it should be in terms of some passions, and so success is like more much than happy, because it is also a source of happiness.
Okay, so well define what is success. So success is, it gives you a sense of achievement. It leads to happiness. It makes people perform better in pursuit of success. Success gives you confidence to achieve more as you achieve something. Success gives more opportunity to prove yourself worth. So I think success is the most important thing in life. So success is life. Success is a way of life.
My friends spoke a lot about happiness. Where does the happiness come from if you are not successful? So basically happiness is a byproduct of success. If you first achieve success, then you will be happy. You show me one person who is a failure and will happy.
हेलो मैं अपनी बात को हिंदी में कहूँगा क्योंकि उसका पहला कोटेशन है हौसला कर लिया है जब फैसला कर लिया है जब ऊंची उड़ान का तो फिजूल है फिर रास्ता नापना आसमान नापना is happiness sometimes you can be sometimes you don't get but when you achieve your purpose what you think about where you want to go and you have achieved that you will get final sustainable life process of success. Sometimes happiness comes, sometimes not. It is all about authenticity. So success is all about journey, not any segment, point of segment, just like happiness. Sometimes you get lottery, and sometimes you get suddenly get married, sometimes you get first class position, be happy. After sometimes you lose. That is not journey. What success is all about, what really you are. If you discover and go through journey, success is all about this.
For me, success is a level. So you cannot just say that the X is successful, Y is not successful. It's like for somebody, Salman Khan is successful person, but for somebody without he is just big white or this study.
then I'll be successful. Once I become a CEO of the company, then I'm successful. So success is all about destination, whereas happiness is all about the journey. So thank you for supporting us. And even what you mentioned, Mr. Mahendra, about it is relative. So success is relative, happiness. So because happiness is something which, as I said, is not limited. So it is not limited to a Maruti car. You said Maruti car. Somebody having a cycle may feel he is successful and therefore he is happy. So he is happy irrespective whether he has a cycle or he has a Maruti. Somebody is happy just because he has 2 legs. He doesn't even need a cycle to be happy. So happiness is something which is just beyond all borders. Thank you.
This what else he
My
said.
question remains unanswered.
Sorry,
Go ahead. So now you all can counter.
Yeah, so please, your question.
Can you show me one person who is a failure in the world?
Okay, that's a very good question.
I think making success is a very difficult task. Making success, like the one who is success, bringing him down from the success is a very difficult task. But happiness is like fluctuating. If you are in a good trauma, you can feel happiness. But if you are in a bad trauma, the conditions around you are not according to your will. The work that has been planned is not according to your plan. Your happiness at that point of time vanished from your mind. Oh my God, you got frustrated. So the biggest point of happiness is that.
What you are saying is
Something different.
success is material, happiness is eternal. You don't need material things. You don't need material things to live.
Let me make one thing.
No material thing, but that smile on the face.
See, smile is not a happiness. Okay,
Smile, it was a nature of it. If you have that,
and I think happiness all of it.
It's not.
Classic example is Lord Buddha and Lord Mahavir. They had all the material successes, but in the end they left with success. That was happiness for them. They had success, but they left with
show me people who, according to you, there's so many so successful. Like, so you have the richest people, the models, the famous people. How many people come into your side? So there is no. So I can show you that.
Now you are just stopping. Now we are not countering, so they're just face out. So now you're just closing. You can just answer and close.
Okay, so you want to close first?
He's already given to you. He said that answer that question. He's closed.
Oh, you're done?
Yes. He's asked you one question.
So
pressure was giving that session.
Yes. So there are lots of people that, according to you, who may not be successful and they are happy. I mean, you're asking me for one person, I can show you millions. Okay? So that is.
Rahul Gandhi.
And he was very happy. He would go, he would fish, his wife would cook, then he would go for an afternoon siesta, in the evening he would play with his kids, grandkids, and then they would sing, dance, have fun, and so one day this guy, a successful successful person from the US, and success-driven person, he comes and he says that, you know what, you have such beautiful coast here and such a beautiful abundance of sea fishes and all of that. So why don't you do more with it? He said, okay, what do you want me to do more? He said, why don't you get a bigger boat and a bigger trawler? He said, okay, what will happen with that? So you will be able to get lots of fish. Okay, then what will I do with that? Then you'll be able to sell it. What will you'll get lots of money. Okay, great. What will I do with lots of money? You can get a big house. Okay, then what will I do? Then you will have more people working for you. Then you'll have a big company. You will have people, offices all across the world. And all your people will be doing all your work for you. And then what will happen? You can then sit, chill, relax, and have fun with your family. He says, excuse me, I'm already doing that. Why do I need to go through all of this? What everybody is seeking. Today I want to be a CEO of the company, or I
to take out my shoes, my thinking, and come to this side. And after hearing the beautiful story, I said, no, it is happiness. So as individuals, you actually have to come into the shoes of the other person, think from that side and say, yes, this is not concave, but it's convex. And the ideas, the thoughts that generate through argumentative thinking can also be very, very constructive. So I wanted you all to see a video. Can we have 5 minutes of the class? It's 9:30.
Yes.
So I want some homework today for you all to go and complete that video. But right now, it's the Oxfam video on the debate of Sheetal. Has anybody seen that?
Yeah.
Of how colonialism destroyed Asia. So we'll have a 5-minute peek on this. You could see it at home, and tomorrow we'll conclude the argumentative thinking and move towards parallel thinking. I'll also end on the note that tomorrow when you all are coming in, please carry a memento along, which according to you is your moment of pride, with which you associate, you connect with your victory, which you would like to share with your fellow colleagues. It could be a photograph, a trophy, a medal, a certificate, a marriage certificate, something that you take pride in, which you would like to share with your fellow colleagues. Please do remember, if you want to carry a soft copy, you can carry it on a pen drive, or you can coordinate with Sakina and mail it to her. So when you are having your 1-minute talk, we can air it at the backdrop. Or you can physically get it, please do remember. Yeah? So we'll do a 5-minute video on this and we'll conclude the class.
I'm standing for 8 minutes in my hands and with this venerable and magnificent institution. I was going to assure you that I belong to the Henry Gate School of Public Speaking. But as Henry Gate said to his wives, I shall not keep you long. But now finding myself the 7th speaker out of this in what must already seem an overwhelming evening to you, I rather feel like Henry Gate's last wife. I more or less know what's expected of me, but I'm not sure how to do it any differently. Well, perhaps what I should do is really try and pay attention to the arguments that were advanced by the opposition today. We had, for example, Sir Richard Oswald suggesting that challenging the very idea that it could be argued that the economic situation of the colonies was actually worsened by the experience of British colonialism. Well, I stand to offer you even an example, Sir Richard. India's share of the world economy when Britain arrived on its shores was 23%. By the time the British left, it was down to below 4%. Why? Simply because India had been governed for the benefit of Britain. In Britain's rise for 200 years was financed by its deprivations in India. In fact, Britain's industrial revolution was actually premised upon the deindustrialization of India. The handloom weavers, for example, famed across the world, whose products were exported around the world. Britain came writing, there were actually these weavers making fine muslin, lightest woven air, it was said. And Britain came writing, smashed their flags, broke their looms, imposed tariffs and duties on their powerful products, and started, of course, taking the raw materials from India and shipping back manufactured cloth, flooding the world's markets with what became the products of the dark and satanic mills of Victorian England. That meant that the weavers of India became bears, and India went from being a world-famous exporter of finished cloth into an importer, went from having 27% of world trade to less than 2%. Meanwhile, colonialism had run alive. Brought their Latin bars in England and the proceeds of their loot in India while taking the Hindu word loot into their dictionaries as well as their habits. And the British had the gall to call him Clive of India as if he belonged to the country when all he really did was to ensure that parts of the country belonged to him. By the end of the 19th century, the The fact is that India was already Britain's biggest cash cow, the world's biggest purchaser of British goods and exports, and a source of highly paid employment for British civil servants. We literally paid for our own oppression. And as has been pointed out, the wealthy Victorian British families that made their money out of the slave economy, 1/5 of the elites of the wealthy class in Britain in the 19th century owed their money to transporting 3 million Africans across the waters. And in fact, in 1833, when slavery was abolished, what happened was that a compensation of £20 million was paid, not as reparations to those who had lost their lives or who had suffered or been oppressed by slavery, but to those who had lost their property. I was struck by the fact that your Wi-Fi password in this union commemorates the name of Mr. Gladstone, the great liberal hero. Well, I'm sorry, his family was one of those who benefited from the infamous country. Staying in India, between 15 and 29 million Indians died of starvation in British Indies famines. The most famous example, of course, was the Great Bengal famine during the Second World War, when 4 million people died because Winston Churchill, deliberately as a matter of written militant policy, proceeded to divert essential supplies from civilians in Bengal to spare the Tamils and Europeans as reserve stockpiles. He said that the starvation of anyway underfed Bengalis mattered much less than that of starving Greeks. This is Churchill's actual quote. And when conscience-stricken British officials wrote to him, pointing out that people were dying because of this decision, he peevishly wrote on the margins of the fire, "That hasn't roundly died yet." So our notions of the British were trying to do their colonial enterprise under enlightened despotism, to try and bring the benefits of colonialism and civilization to the United Kingdom. I'm sorry, Churchill's conduct in 43 simply one example of many that gave a lie to this myth. As others have said on the proposition, violence and racism were the reality of the colonial experience, and no wonder that the sun never set on the British Empire, because even God couldn't trust the English in the dark. Let me take World War I as a very concrete example, since when we first speak of Mr. Lee suggested these things couldn't be quantified. Well, let me quantify World War I for you. Again, I'm sorry, from an Indian perspective, others have spoken of other countries. 1/6 of all the British forces that fought in the war were Indian. 54,000 Indians actually lost their lives in that war. 65,000 were wounded, another 4,000 remained missing or imprisoned. Indian taxpayers had to cough up £100 million in that time's money. India supplied 70 million rounds of ammunition, 600,000 rifles and machine guns, 42 million garments were stitched and sent out from India, and 1.3 million Indian personnel served in this war. I know this because, of course, the commemoration of the centenary has